Hey, I won't waste your time. Hey, us is where we shine. Teaching Tuesday, it's more than just another day. Teaching Tuesday, find your answers in this place. Teaching Tuesday, Teaching Tuesday.
Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm trying to get the hang of this whole let's do it like this type of setup. So give me 1 second. Let me move some stuff so I can actually see some stuff. And then let me share just a little bit and we will have it going on. How's your day been? Scale of 1 to 10. Everybody check in. Guess everything looks okay. I'm kind of liking this layout because it just makes it easier for me to just hop on and do what I need to do, etc. I have on layered necklaces today in honor of my good friend Shauna Solomon, who loves to layer her jewelry, and I think that's awesome. So that being said, let me get this on over to the founder folks. I was trying to do this while the intro was playing, but you know how techs, sometimes it just doesn't do what I needed to do. It just doesn't. So anyway, and I thought it really important to give y'all a blue lip. I hadn't done it in a while, and I was looking at my stuff and I was like, yes, today is a great day for a blue lip. So that's what's happening. All right, let me get all this stuff out of my way so we can get into things today. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you are in the world. I'm going to share this one more place. Just one more place. One more place. I can't wait forever. That was funny. Do y'all do that? Like every now and then? Oh, every now and then. Truthfully, I talk in movies and music all the time. I feel like sometimes I have musical Tourette's, is what I call it. If you have musical Tourette's, just let me know in the comments. All right. One last place to share this, and we're going to get this down to a science, y'all. But as long as I'm using this setup, this might be how it has to be. And I know y'all don't mind because I talk while I'm setting up, unlike some people who do lives. And I think it's so weird when people do lives and they just sit there and like, oh, I'm going to wait for people. Why? Like, why? Just start talking. They'll catch up. It's fine. It's completely fine. So anywho, today is about how to win Black Friday. And I don't know why that looks like it looks on there, but I'm not even going to look at it. So if you're tuning in now, just check in and say live. If not, catch it on the replay. By all means, I still answer comments and questions after the fact. So you are not losing. One moment. There you are. Had to locate the furry one. I wasn't sure where he had gone. All I could hear was noise, but no jingling. He wears a bell because if he ain't jingling, some of y'all know. Some of y'all know how this has to go down. Let parents check in. You already know. Y'all know it's serious when I have my note cards. My note cards are ready. And now they're out of order because they fell. It's always fun. It's always fun over here. So yeah, hello Facebook, hello LinkedIn, hello YouTube, and whether you're checking this live, catching this live, or catching it on the replay, I'm super excited to be with you. Yes, I had to work out some of my administrative stuff moments ago, share some things out because everything changes. It's so weird. The way we used to be able to just go live in our groups, et cetera, Facebook doesn't allow that anymore. So the API changed. And so I actually have to wait to be live. And then I have to share it out. And so that's why sometimes I'll have like countdowns and theme music to give me more time to do some of those things, but today it just didn't work out. So anyway, my name is Stephanie D McKenzie, and I am a fractional brand and marketing leader, which I love that. I love that terminology, fractional brand and marketing leader, which means I get to work with a lot of organizations and give them the support that they need from the brand marketing and even the operational standpoint at a fraction of what it would cost for them to have a full-time person. So I'm giving them full-time quality without a full-time price. And so if you want to know more about that, check out thefraxfirm.com. That's FRAX, thefraxfirm.com. And you can learn more about what we do, what we could do for you. We call it our weird work. And so part of that weird work is educating you. And today we're going to talk about how to win Black Friday. But I want to make sure that I always start this and end this with an encouraging message. And what I want to say to you today is, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you today for saying no or no more, because I don't think people understand how difficult that is. Oftentimes we get into situations that we didn't mean to get into. It didn't look like that, you know? It didn't feel like that. It wasn't doing that when we got into it. And so it takes a lot of bravery and courage to say nope or no more. Stop it. We're letting Dane be apart from me today. He's in the next room. I can see him, but I'm going to do my best not to pick him up and show him to you, although you will get your daily dose of Dane photo. I know you want that. All right, so let's get into how to win Black Friday, because I don't know if you know this, but today is November 18th, which means next week, this time, you will be preparing for Thanksgiving or Day of Thanks or gratitude or Friendsgiving or nothing at all if you don't celebrate, because I get it. There's a lot of stuff around. 1 second. Stop it. Thank you. Pet parents check in. All right. So whether you celebrate or not, next week, many people will be preparing for a holiday commonly known as Thanksgiving. There's a lot of conversations around gratitude and giving thanks and gathering and all of those things. And so one thing that inevitably comes up for those who own businesses is the conversation around Black Friday. Now, I'm going to make this hopefully a little more relevant than normal conversations. But I will say this: if you end up having a question or a comment, just drop it below. If it's live, I'll make sure to talk about it while I'm on air. And if not, I will absolutely make sure that I come back with a stellar answer if I have one on the replay. All right, so let's get into this. So Black Friday, of course, traditionally has been seen as the last opportunity one of the last opportunities in Q4 to be in the black, which means to be profitable, right? Although there have been some, statements, and I did not fact check this, that say that it might have relationships to slavery. It's possible. Many things do. Okay, great. But for the sake of this conversation and this moment in time, we're going to consider it as its traditional form in the modern sense of being one of the last opportunities to go into the first quarter of the next year in the black. The second opportunity, for those of you who are wondering, is the day after Christmas. So day after Thanksgiving, day after Christmas. Those are usually seen as the last two opportunities, the last chance to go into the black in your business before you hit the first quarter of 2026. And so Black Friday for a lot of people is a really big deal. It's a huge deal. But here's the thing. The first thing I'm going to put out to you is, should you win Black Friday? Is that something that you should do? Well, I think it depends on a few things. The first thing is, what do you offer? Because it really doesn't matter about the ticket prices. You'll see high ticket luxury brands engage in Black Friday sales. In fact, some of them are even offering them now. Low ticket as well. But the ticket price is irrelevant except to stay profitable. That's the biggest thing, is that I want you in all of these things, no matter what you do, stay profitable. What is profit? Profit is not just generating revenue. Profit is above the cost of doing business, the cost of goods sold. So if it costs you $5 to make it and you sell it for $10, okay, great. You've made a $5 profit. If it costs you $5 to make it and you sell it for $4.50, you just lost 50 cents. And for some of you, and we don't have the time to get into pricing strategy, for some of you, you haven't looked at your logistics and your supply chain closely enough to understand that, yeah, your pricing strategy is actually a problem. So if you're just tuning in, make sure you put live in the comments. And I'm going to keep going through this whole should you win Black Friday? Well, what do you offer? Next thing, know this, consumers are expecting a deal. Consumers are absolutely expecting a deal, but that doesn't mean that you have to get robbed. Okay. I have been a part of a lot of Black Friday promotions, and the key is you can't go so low that, again, you are not profitable. But if you were not profitable in the beginning, slashing your prices is just going to make that even worse. So think it through, boo-boo. All right. We want to make really great decisions. But if you go through all that, you say, oh, what do I offer? You know, I feel good about the pricing strategy that I have. I feel good about reducing prices. I'm still going to be profitable. Then the next question would be, okay, I think I want to win Black Friday. All right, great. If yes, here's 3 things I'm going to give you that can help you win Black Friday. First thing is make it easy. I could stop right there. Make it easy for you. This is not the time for you to create a whole new product unless you can do that with ease. What does that mean? Well, you could do it in maybe a day or less. This may be the time for you to take a product that has, especially if you're service-based, it's maybe a time for you to take something that you already have, that maybe you have a high dollar amount on, and maybe pull out a piece of it. Because ultimately you want to decide what your goals are. And I guess I need to bring that up as well. Is your goal to generate the revenue and to be profitable? Or is your goal to build your list? Or is your goal to create more awareness? Or figure out what the goal is, because where the intention is set, that's where the attention will go. And so if you funnelize this, let's say case in point, you have a larger something and you pull a piece out. I've done that before. Like I've written books and I've pulled out a chapter. Let's say you want to give away a chapter. Well, then make that easy for you. Don't get into, the feed saying, hey, drop your email to me. That's already going to make it hard. If you can't put that onto a system you already have, a Podia, a Pocket Suite, an Acuity, Calendly, I mean, anything, Gumroad, anything that people can, and I say that not knowing if, I know Pocket Suite might allow it. I don't know if Acuity would allow you to do that, but they might. But allowing your people to go onto a platform and download it without any interaction from you. No help, no nothing. That's what I mean about making it easy. It should be a set it and forget it type of thing. This should be your rotisserie chicken, unless you're doing something different. And you could be. And so, if you say, oh, you know what, I had this idea for Black Friday, and you say you want to talk it out, by all means, put talk in the comments. I'll make sure to circle back to you, or send me a DM and said, hey, I had this idea for my Black Friday promotion. What do you think? If you want somebody to bounce it off of, no, there's no charge for that. We're just talking. That's what we're doing. All right. But additionally, I want to make sure that you make it clear what the value is. Now, I'm going to say make it valuable, but before we get to that, to make it easy for you, remember, I told you consumers are looking for a deal. Do not lower your price. Well, Stephanie, how are they going to get the lower price? Promotional codes. Promotional codes. Because that's going to allow them to see the price, the actual price of what they're getting for the reduced price that they're paying. Does that make sense? And in no uncertain terms, and this is just a lesson for business owners in general, and this is something that I do religiously. If you come into some program we have at special pricing, your invoice will reflect the special pricing as special pricing. So if you came in on a package, maybe it's supposed to be $2,500, you're getting it for $1,500. Guess what? Your invoice will say $2,500. It will say special pricing adjustment, and then it will show your pricing. Why do we do that? We do that so that it's never unclear that you have received special pricing. You have, in essence, gotten a deal. And that's why we do it. So instead of going into your website or whatever and just slashing prices, I would highly recommend that you, water. I would highly recommend that you develop and create promotional codes. If you are not working on a platform or have access to a platform that does promotional codes, this is the time to do that, because you're going to want that. You're going to want to make that easy for yourself. All right. So make it easy. That's the first thing. If you want to win Black Friday. 2, make it valuable. This is not just a throwaway. Oh, well, I'm just going to throw this out there, blah, 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 blah. Make it valuable for them. And the one question that I want to see you answer with your Black Friday offer is, what do your audiences, wait for it, want? Here's why that's important. It is very easy for many of you to sell what you think your audiences need. They're not going to buy that. They're not going to buy that because you're not going to position it well. Stephanie, you don't know my life? True. Okay, I'm saying 9 times out of 10, people that do what you do, that are founders and leaders, et cetera, even those who are established, like myself, we get this wrong. We come out of the gate talking about what they need. When consumers want to know what they want, you have, and it's a nuanced positioning. And it requires you knowing who your audiences are in the first place. And I'm going to go right back to brand development with that, because a lot of times that's just not clear. And so the reason why you don't know what they want is because you don't know who they are. You're walking around here with generics. People and women and kids and college students, you're doing all of that. And it's like, but there are so many psychographics and demographics that can go into this. And one of the tools that I like to use is I like to reverse engineer my audiences. So sometimes if I'm like, there was one client when I was working with them to develop a new positioning statement, I wanted to reverse engineer to see who that would land with. And so I threw it into chat and I told chat to do just that, analyze who this would resonate with. And it gave me an amazing breakdown. I did it on deep research, which is a setting that you should have if you have even the pro version. And it did deep research to show me who that would resonate with. And then I was able to see, okay, this is landing in the places that we want it to land. I asked it for the psychographics as well as the demographics. And it was able to show me that, because as long as you know whom you're seeking to serve and what they want, you can position yourself appropriately as the resolution, the innovation, the elimination, or whatever, the augmentation, or whatever Asian you need to be in order to be positioned as the person that they should buy, or the service they should buy, or the product they should buy, or the experience they should buy. Lastly, make it profitable. I can't say that enough. Make it profitable for you. If it's valuable to them, it should be profitable for you. So do not lower the price below the break even. Definitely you can have it above the break even. But don't lower that price beneath the break even. And if you don't know what your break evens are, this is a great time for you to assess, because truthfully, as you're going into 2026, you want to take inventory of what you've done well and what you haven't done well. And that requires, being honest with yourself. And if pricing has not been your strong suit, if marketing has not been your strong suit, if positioning has not been your strong suit, if targeting audiences that can't afford you. I hear this all the time. People are commenting, but they can't afford me. Well, they don't want to afford you. And I'm not blaming you. I'm saying that when people don't want to buy something, either there's two things there. Either it's a financial, issue, which is true, which is possible, or you haven't positioned the value proposition strong enough for them to say, oh, okay. Additionally, you may not have accessibility factors in place, such as installment plans, lower payments from like early bird pricing, et cetera, et cetera. So you do have options. Okay. You absolutely have options. And again, if you want to talk this through, let me know. I'm happy to do so. So if you want to win Black Friday, the 3 ways to do that are make it easy, make it valuable, make it profitable. However, there's a bonus, because this is not just about Black Friday. There's an entire weekend dedicated to you generating revenue and also being profitable. And so if for some reason you say, man, I don't want to get caught up in this Black Friday clutter, I get it. Listen, you still have Small Business Saturday, the Sabbath, and Cyber Monday to do what you need to do. Now, this is a great time, November 18th. I would almost say, why not put out a list builder right now? Put out a list builder. Hey, I'm giving away blah, blah, blah. And keep promoting that until the end of the week, maybe even for the next week. Build your list up so that you can put out your Black Friday to your email list. It doesn't have to be this big launching thing in the timeline and you're having to post about it all the time. And some of y'all know how much I hate to launch. So you don't have to do all of that if you don't want to. But if you have something, start pumping that list builder. Get new people in front of your face. Go live. Do a giveaway. Do some fun things. Team up with some people. I'm just saying. But you have the entire weekend. And if you don't want to do it at all, you don't have to. Okay? But for those of you that want to, the best way to win is to decide now. Decide now what you're going to do with next week. And you're like, oh my God, I have to cook and da, 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 da. Exactly. That's why you need to decide now. So that maybe you can spend a couple of hours this weekend, putting everything in place, setting up the promotions code, da, 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 da. And here's the deal. Even if you say at the end of it all, I still don't want to do it. You can use that stuff later. Nothing is a loss. But I need you to decide now. In the next 24 to 48 hours, you want to decide if you want to participate in any part of the after Thanksgiving consumerism activities. That's what you got to decide. Because I can tell you implicitly, I remember one year, actually, I think it was 2020, and I wasn't going to do Black Friday anything. I was working with a business coach at the time, and I was just like, oh, it's been a year. This has been great. Learning all these things. Yay, yay, yay. And then the word came down that, oh, well, why aren't you doing Black Friday? And I was like, oh, Lord. And then I have to like scramble to get it together. And yes, I did make a formidable amount of sales. It was great. Okay, yay, whoop, whoop. But I can tell you from experience, trying to gather stuff up at the last minute and figure out what you're going to Black Friday, that's not what you want. Decide now. Decide now. And here's the tee-hee-hee. If you have something and you say, man, I mean, can I put it out now? You absolutely can. I'm getting emails right now from companies who are saying, grab our Black Friday deal today. Ultimately, it's your decision, right? It's your decision. But if you want to win, and not just Black Friday, but if you want to win the rest of 2025, I'm excited. I'm excited about you desiring that. And I'm even more excited if we have the opportunity to serve and support you as you do that. So by all means, make sure you run over to the Frax firm, that the THEFRAX firm.com. and learn more about what we do and what we can do for you. And if you say, you know what, Steph, I want to learn more about some of your classes and whatnot, great. Go either to the coe.me. Actually, just go over to the stephstore.com. Start your journey there. And if we can serve and support you, if you have a question or if something isn't clear, let us know. That's what we're here for. But I think that pretty much concludes my time. My name is Stephanie D McKenzie. I don't see any questions, but again, if you have a question and you catch this on the replay, feel free to drop it below. But I'm going to get out of your hair. I wish you a happy Tuesday, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.
Have you been on a weight loss journey and the scale just isn't giving you the results you hoped for? Well, meet Thinner, an FDA-registered, all-natural, homeopathic approach that addresses the root causes of how to lose weight and keep it off, especially if hormones are an issue. If you're tired of all of the guesswork and doing it alone, scan the QR code for more info, and let's get you started today.